What the heck is up, you guys? I hope you guys are doing well on this day. That is today. Today is just me. It's just me on my very own podcast. Mostly because I'm lazy, and that's why, I think. It's why. It's pretty much why. But I just had some things I wanted to talk to you guys about. Sit down, okay? Let's talk. Isn't that the worst? Doesn't your heart sink when someone's like, hey, can we talk for a minute? You're like, you think about every bad thing you've done in your life, and you're like, what do they want to talk about? Wait, what have I done? What did I do? Oh my gosh, what could they possibly want to talk to me about? This is terrible. Did they see me not put the new toilet paper on the roll? Did they see that it was me who didn't do that? Oh my gosh, what did I do? It's not like that, okay? I just want to be real with you guys and tell you real things. Be vulnerable, as the Christians say. Jed here with me, and she's being really needy and needing scratches, and it's irritating. So I just been listening back to some podcasts. First of all, I was really irritated at Annie's podcast, not because it wasn't good, because she's amazing, but because I edited it so weird, and it just kept messing up, and I had to re-upload it 15 times. Oh, that was so irritating. Sorry if you heard a really crappy version, because that was irritating. So just lesson learned, listen to the recording before you post it. Yep, that was honestly the first time. I've never done that, and of course it was bad. So just sit. Jeez. I've been listening back to the podcasts, and I've just been seeing that I kind of don't reveal as much as I'd like. I kind of put up a facade, and of course you don't notice that because you why would you? But I just see it, and that's not what I wanted this podcast to be. I wanted this to be a place where we can just be super real and ourselves and feel safe, even though it's going to however many people are listening. I just wanted it to be a place where you don't have to put up a facade, and you don't have to think about what you have to say, what you're saying, just be yourself, and people will like it, the right people will like it, and it'll be for someone. Because if you put up a facade, then who are you reaching? That's not what your story's supposed to be about. You're supposed to be real about your story and not be ashamed of your story, because shame is just sucky, and it makes you feel like you're alone and you're the only one who's been through that, and that's not true, man. Why else would we have our stories if we can't tell them? And I'm just not disappointed in myself, but that it's so easy to put up a facade is just annoying to me that I just do it. So I don't know. So I've talked about success before, when it was just me, and let me just tell you, adulthood is really tough. It's not a fun time. College was super cool because you didn't have to think about how you're gonna pay for things. You did have to do that. I'm just saying, you weren't totally on your own and independent, and that's not true for probably 75% of Americans and people who aren't Americans. So just people. But adulthood, you have to find a full-time job, man, and you have to figure out money and your life, and there's just a lot of pressure in that. And because it's okay, now that I'm done with school, I can either use this degree and try to find a job that I want that I like, or I can just find a job where I can get money so that I can pay off debts or just be financially stable. Even if I don't like this job, whatever. But then it's just like, I'm one of those people where like, I'm just such a dreamer that like, I can't handle like not doing something that I love, and like not doing that for the rest of my life. Even if money, like it had good money, like I feel like that would be crushing everything if I didn't do a job that was my dream or going after my dream. But the thing about adulthood is that like you really have to think about money. Like money is just like the leader of everything, of every decision that you're making. It's like always about money, and it's so irritating. Like I can't wait, and I don't think it'll happen, but like I just want to know what it's like for like a day to not think about money and like not even have money be an option of like worry. What? It's amazing. Anyway, if you have that, let me know what it feels like. Anyway, I just felt like I've been putting up a facade, I guess, of like not being successful or having my life together, because that's not true at all. And I don't think I put that up well, but like maybe just like being content with life and being happy with my life, because like I'm so at a loss in my life right now. Like this is the truth, people, okay? I like do not know what I'm doing with my life. And like for some reason I felt like I was the only person who thought that, because it looks like everyone else knows what they're doing, and they have their friends and they figured out their life and they're just content and happy. And I just felt like I was the only one who's like, why am I like just going in circles and everyone else is like totally fine? But every time I say that I don't know what I'm doing, people are like, well, does anybody? And I'm like, oh, but everyone else seems like they have it together. And that statement right there is, I think, the problem, which is like comparison, which I know I've talked about it before, but like, isn't comparison just like the root of everything bad? And like your just emotions and I don't know, just like sad feelings that you have, because like you're just comparing what you are to someone else, and if you're not them, then like you're not good. And that's so sucky. That's such a sucky thing. Anyway, so that's just like my problem ultimately, is that I'm like seeing all these other people doing these things and I'm like, well, I'm not there, so I suck. And I think like what I've noticed, the thing that like is like stopping me from picking, I guess, what I want to do or whatever, is like really just like other people. And not that I'm blaming other people, but that I'm having them choose for me what is best for me. Just comparison, like thinking about other people in my life who like I don't even know what they're doing, but for some reason I like am thinking they care, or like I have to, like I talked to Annie, like I have to prove it to them that I'm doing something with my life. But like literally it doesn't even, like they probably don't even think about me. You know what I'm saying? Like who cares what they're doing? Who cares if they even remember you? Like truly, because who cares even if you're friends? Like, you know, like just like you have to remember that you're living your life. You're not living someone else's. You have to think about your life. Like don't let other people's just don't let other people decide your life for you. And that could be literal or like in your head, where I was doing, where it was like I was literally just like allowing other people to decide my life. Like, where then I was just falling short because I wanted so badly to get to the end result, and I couldn't get there because in actuality you have to start at the bottom unless you know people, but truly you have to start at the bottom to work your way up. And like, so because I wasn't getting these jobs or whatever, where it was like I had no experience, what do I expect? And then I just felt unsuccessful, and like somehow they knew that I was unsuccessful. And it's like, nobody freaking cares, dude. Like, they're out of your life, so their opinions do not matter to you. Like, they should not matter anyway. And then I'm saying, like, you shouldn't also have other people decide for you, like in money or anything. Like, you have to fully like remember that it's your life. And if you're a Christ follower, then like you need to hear God's word over everyone else. Like, you need to hear his voice over everyone else speaking. And like, yeah, other people should be speaking into you and guiding this, but ultimately, like, I truly don't think that God is evil, obviously, in that he's making you like not know, and like question everything, and like be so in the dark about everything. Like, in your heart of hearts, like that, what you want to do and what is best for you and for your life. And I think he's loud. I think his voice is so loud. I think it's just like whether or not we listen. And that was my thing, is like I was just running around for like months, just being so lost and not knowing what I want to do, and like not knowing anything, not being content and staying in Ohio, but then not getting any jobs, or being terrified to go out on my own to move to like California or somewhere. So like I would just kept going, like nothing was happening. I wasn't moving forward in anything. And I was like, God, where the heck are you? Like, just give me a neon sign. Just show me what I'm supposed to do. And like, literally, this was just last week. I finally just like went on a walk, turned everything off, just talked to God. And I've never heard his voice louder. And it's like, why didn't I just like shut up and sit and listen to the Lord for 5 freaking minutes? Like, this would have been so much easier. And I don't know. So anyway, so yeah, and like, and I think it was just like, I was struggling so hard to stay in Ohio, because to me that felt like failure, but that's not true. Like you're just being money conscious, like there's a time when you can go out and live your life, but if you don't have money in this world, it's hard and it's not fun. And wouldn't it be nicer to just live life without a debt cloud hanging over you, like pay off your debts and then live your life? That's what my parents have been saying this whole time. And I'm just like, yeah, but I'm young and I need to live. And they're like, yeah, you are still young. Even when you're like 25, you're still young. So you can live your life, but it's just way better to pay off your debts first. And I don't think that's wrong. I think parents are super smart. But I just like am such a dreamer that I'm like, you're crushing my dreams. And that's not true. You can live your dreams anytime. And I think I'm like, ultimately, do you guys remember that Bridesmaids scene where Melissa McCarthy's like tackling and punching Kristen Wiig and saying, you're your problem and you're also your solution? That literally sticks with me forever, because I could blame anyone else for all these things, but ultimately it's me. Like, I'm the one who's deciding for my life. I'm 23. I'm the one who's deciding for my life. And right now, right then at least, I was the one who was holding me back from like doing anything, because I was putting so much pressure on myself to be something, or to just, I don't know, do anything. And like, I think when we think about it, I know it sounds so bad, and I know like you don't want to hear it, but nobody thinks about you nearly as much as you think they do. Okay? So like, if you're gonna move somewhere to like a crazy state or across the world or whatever, don't do it thinking that everyone is going to love you for it, or you're going to be so popular, or just like you're going to be a success and everyone's going to be jealous and they're going to think like, oh my gosh, she's doing amazing things. Because yeah, there will be some who do that, but like ultimately people are more just thinking about themselves is what I'm thinking. Because yeah, I see so many people doing awesome things, but really then I at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, what am I doing? You know? Like, that's really cool that they're doing that. What am I doing? You know? Anyway, I hope this makes sense to you. I hope it's doing something. And I just think, like, I just really want to talk about it because, I don't know, I think it's so easy to, like, put on that facade, you know, that you're success and that your life is great and you're doing really cool things and you have so many friends. But ultimately, like, for me at least, like, it's not like that. And like, I've made for good friends, but it's really hard to find really, like, keep your friends in adulthood, because after college, people move away, people go do things, and like, people are for seasons sometimes, and sometimes, like, they just don't fit with you right then, and so you just got to make new friends, and making new friends in adulthood is so hard. Like, people don't talk about it enough. I'm sure they do, but I'm just saying, like, it's hard to make new friends in adulthood, especially if you don't want to put yourself out there and be awkward. It's hard. So, yeah, like, I have friends, but also I have the worst work schedule, so I don't have friends, because I get off work, or I go on work when everyone gets off work. And that's my life, bro. And just in adulthood, like, you're not around people enough to think, like, to, like, just walk over their house or, like, know their schedule, you know. And, like, texting is hard, and just constantly reaching out to people, like the person saying, like, are you free, and they're not. Like, no one wants to do that all the time, so can't really blame people. And, like, I think a big struggle is just feeling, like, unqualified for things. I think that's super easy to feel like you're just inadequate in a lot. And I know that's just the enemy getting at you and telling you that, you know, once you have this idea, which is totally from the Lord, because he gives you these gifts and he gives you these, just these, you know, he, like, fuels the flame in your heart that he put there. And then the enemy comes along and sees that, you know, this could help someone. Then he tells you that you can't do it, and you're totally unqualified, you're inadequate, you, like, who would want to listen to you? Who would want to hear what you have to say? Why do you feel like you can do this over someone else? And then you start to believe it. And you're like, yeah, you're right. I'm just going to sit in this corner because nobody cares. And that's not true. Like, that's why I'm always like, I don't want to tell you this, that nobody cares about you as much as you think, or nobody thinks about you as much as you think. But also, like, the right people, and, like, people that God puts in your life at the times when you need it, or not. Like, maybe you don't need it, but he'll put people there who do care and who do think about you, you know, and want the best for you. And I was just, like, talking to Annie too about it, and I was like, who's qualified for anything? Like when I asked people, like, or when I told people, like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, and they were like, does anyone? I was like, you're so freaking right. Does anyone know what they're doing with their life? Does anyone feel like they're qualified for anything? Like, in interviews, aren't you just BSing your way to get the job? Like, I don't know. And when you get a job, you're like, you don't know how to do that job fully, you know, like you're just learning. So like you're not even qualified for the job that you get, even if you went to school for it, like you're not super qualified until you do the job. So I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's so easy to feel unqualified and inadequate and just not ready for life and not able to do life. Christianese. But like, who says that you can't? Like, bosses who don't hire you, okay, and thank you, Jetta, and people who like reject you, okay. Remember, that's like just one person in how many people are in the world? 7 billion still. So, and someone was talking about it. It was like a cliche quote, but it was like man's rejection is God's protection, and like that's probably true. Okay, like he allowed that to happen, maybe to like have something better happen for you, or just like to show you like, okay, you really don't need that person and you're fine without it. Like you have to know that like you were worthy before someone even told you were worthy. Like, let that stick in your mind, okay? Like, I had that problem before, like, because it's so easy for, you know, to get caught up in like a guy if they tell you you're beautiful and stuff like that. But like, just know that you were beautiful before they told you that, and you are worthy before someone showed you were worthy or told you were worthy. Okay, like, and so if they leave, it doesn't mean that they took it with them because they gave it to you. No, they did not give that to you. You had it before you even knew them. So if someone leaves, like, okay, so they rejected you. That doesn't mean that you're any less of who you were before that. Now, I had that problem so bad with music. Like, music was my life from like 5th grade to high school to like senior year. It was my freaking life. I was in percussion. I was in marching band, drumline. Like, I had piano. I played the drums. I loved music. I thought I could sing. I can sing pretty average, but like, there are people better than me. And I thought I was a good actress. Like, just, it was my life. Music and arts were my life. And then I went to MVNU and I got rejected like 5 times within like the first month of just trying everything out. I got rejected just from everything. And because I didn't make it, then I was like, well, I must not be good. And so literally I didn't do music. I didn't do music for 2 years. Like, I just gave up. I mean, I like dabbled, and I think I actually did do drum set at church that summer, which was like, that was wild. That was so God just being like, don't give up. I gave you this talent. Don't you dare give up on me. And I did it, and I didn't sound amazing, but I still did it. But then I quit again because I think I tried out again for other things and I still didn't make it. And so then I was like, okay, now I'm seriously not good. Like, I know I'm not good, because if I didn't make it a second time, even after practicing this whole summer, I know I'm not good. And so I just like gave up on those dreams. Like, I just gave up on that whole dream because 2 people in an audition rejected me because for some reason I thought that their opinion was like elite. And like, of course, chapel band was like the elite though, so maybe they're right. No, that's not true, but like, I don't know, I'm just saying, like, I just felt so inadequate because they didn't think I was good. But then when I played at church, like, everyone was like, how long have you been playing? And I'm like 2 years. And they were like astonished. And I was like, what? And they're like, you're so good. But then I was like, well, why can't you tell the chapel people that? But like, I don't know. I'm just saying like that just because one person rejects you, it doesn't mean that you're not good. It doesn't mean that you're unworthy and you're less beautiful, or that you can't get a man, you can't get a woman, you can't get a job, you're not good at whatever you thought you were good at before. Like, that's not freaking true, okay? We need to stop putting so much like credit. What's a word, Jetta? We need to stop like making humans who are also completely flawed. We need to stop putting their opinions as number one. Like, okay, so what, this, like, remember Gilmore Girls? Oh my gosh, you guys, this is perfect. This is, like, perfect. Remember Gilmore Girls? She was going to be a journalist her whole life. And then Mitchum, Huntsberger, who she thought was, like, elite of journalism, said she couldn't handle it. She couldn't hack it. It wasn't for her. And she totally just, like, was bummed out because that was her whole life. And then Richard was like, you destroyed that girl. And he's like, I'm just a dude, man. Like, my opinion doesn't matter. Like, imagine if Oprah quit everything just because she was fired. Or imagine if, like, these are so cliche, I know. But, like, imagine if, like, the KFC dude, what's his name? No, Wendy's. Dave Thomas just quit after all those rejections of the chicken nugget recipes. I think I made that up, but I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere, that he like sent in his recipes to so many people and nobody wanted them. So he just like made his own industry. I probably made that up, but I'm just saying, imagine if all these people like, they just like quit. They just stopped doing what they were doing. We wouldn't have Apple. Okay? Like, you have, I don't know, like, you have to be rejected to, like, get back up on your feet, you know, like, and improve on yourself, because that's, like, I still have time, okay, but I'm just saying, like, I wish that I didn't listen to people, and I wish that I just use that rejection to go harder and to practice more and to do other things that were better. But this is my path that I took. But now I'm back in a band. I'm in the Westerville concert band. So if you want to come see me, don't. But I'm just saying, like, man, if people reject you, if you're rejected, okay, keep going. Sometimes though, it is hard to tell what is a closed door where you're supposed to find something else. But, like, I don't know. I think that God really shows you what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. So I think there are just different times. Like, if you're rejected from a job, okay, that's not what you're supposed to be doing, but keep looking for something else. Don't just, like, quit and stay at your crap job that you hate. Like, look for something else. And usually, this happens in movies all the time, but, like, usually, like, I think God shows you something else in that rejection that you are supposed to be doing. Okay, this is what's happening to me, okay? I keep getting rejected from jobs in California because I don't think I'm supposed to be there right now. And in Colorado, because I don't think I'm supposed to be there right now. Just every possible door is closing. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm not going to move right now. But so I'm at this job where, like, I just sit there all day and, like, I'm like, this is a waste of my time. What am I doing? But, like, I think Justine and Taylor were talking to me because I was freaked out about, like, life. And they were like, you just need to write a book. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But then I was thinking, and I was like, I'm at a computer all day, not doing anything. Maybe this is what God's been showing me, where I'm, like, at this time where I'm not doing anything, maybe I'm supposed to be doing this. And I'm supposed to be planning for something big. I'm, like, writing a book. I'm just getting, like, lots of ideas for different things where, like, if I had to move somewhere else, I wouldn't be able to do it. And God's just showing me lots of different things that I should be doing in this time that I'm at right now. And maybe you guys will see it soon, hopefully. But yeah, I just think like in rejections, he shows you different opportunities that are better. So that man's rejection is God's protection. Okay, listen to that. And I just want to let you guys know that whatever you're doing, whatever, if you feel like you're at a crossroads in life, or just all these doors are closing, or you're just in a dark room and you don't know what you're doing with your life, there's no light. Just know that it's not how it's going to be forever. And God's telling you something. So you just have to listen. Like, I know that sounds so stupid, but seriously, God doesn't make things so hard for you. I think that we do it to ourselves. God doesn't make it where he's silent, and he's making you second guess, and he's making you not understand anything and feel so lost and like scared. Why would he do that? Why would he let you do that? Like he's there. He's literally just there. It's just like we have to reach out, and we have to stop and listen. We have to talk to him. We have to give him the time of day, because he's ready, Sorry, I'm preaching at you. I'm always preaching at you. You know what I thought about is like why I hate it when preachers have music playing behind them the entire time. I'm like, dude, I cannot. Now my mind thinks that you're going to end, but you just started. And also, like, it's not that deep the whole time. Like, it's only super deep at the end, man. What do you do? My mind is messed up now. What are you doing? Anyway, I should have music playing. So, anyway, if you're rejected, keep going, okay? Try. I'm super obsessed with H3 Productions on YouTube, and they're just so funny, Ethan and Ela. But I was watching their video just about how they got to where they are, and they just said, like, they tried. They did their best. They just tried. And that's just all he was saying, was like, just try. Don't just stop and give up. Try. Keep doing things. Keep doing it. Just try, man. And that's what I'm telling you. I'm stealing it. Just try. Do things. And remember that your life is your life, not anyone else's. You are the sole captain of your life. Put that in a book, somebody. I also love when people quote themselves on their own pictures, on their own profiles. Like, wow. Okay. I mean, I guess if you're famous enough, sure. But, alright. I'm judgmental. Do what you want. Anyway. I hope I'm just saying, like, I hope that I tore down that facade for you, and I'm not going to be facade-y anymore. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. Thanks for subscribing and your support. I love you. Okay, have a great day. Thanks so much for listening. Seriously. I love that.